Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. Welcome to Requiem for London. We have a scene for you, a scene with one Emma Bellefleur, who has just received news, a message, not from the bishop directly, but a message detailing location, a place that she must go to find him. And the place in question is one Highgate Library, a old converted church that has been turned into a sort of modern library place to study. And we shall zoom in with one Emma, who is just standing outside, about to approach or enter.
Emma, having just fed before coming, because of she felt she was hungry after the sparring match she had with Chloe Brothers. She feels more nourished now and is waiting to meet the bishop.
Okay, so as you approach, yes, it's the Highgate library. The building does seem closed. It seems really quiet. There's no activity, there's no movement. Some of the lights are on in the building, but only in certain sections, and a lot of the windows have been closed or the blinds have been drawn. There does seem to be a main entrance, a double door entrance.
Emma will go ahead and take that entrance.
Okay, as you go up to the entrance and you try to open or you knock, the door is locked because it is quite late in the hour, and yes, the library is shut. But as you kind of knock or look for movement, you will spot a rather plain-looking gentleman with glasses and a sort of red jumper. Look out of the window, the sort of window in the door, and as he looks at you, he opens the door, and then he only opens it very slightly, and he looks towards you and just goes, "Can I help you, lady?"
Yes, I sent a message that I'd be coming. My name is Emma Bellefleur.
Ah, yes. Of course. Come on in. He kind of opens the door and gestures for you to come in. He is somewhat suspicious. He does give a bit of an edge to him. He does seem to be looking outside as well to make sure no one's followed you.
Does he have a heartbeat?
Oh yes, he does appear to be mortal. He does not give off a predatory aura and does have a heartbeat, yes.
Okay. Emma will follow him.
Yeah, he will check outside for a brief moment, but then lock the door behind him and for you to follow him. And as you go in, you find yourself in this rather large, long building, pretty much. Again, books, the smell of books and sort of quite fresh, quite new wood as well. This is definitely quite modern, quite up to date. And again, it's a lot darker, and there's only like one light that's lit in the far corner of this library. And the individual who escorts you in gestures and goes, "You'll find who you're looking for in the theology section."
Very well, and she'll just not to rebel, but just move her head slightly down as a more of a nod, and she'll say thank you, and she'll move on.
Yes, the gentleman will again bow in return, but he will bow lower than you. However low you are, he will bow lower, and then return to his little station or desk where he seems to be researching or studying. And then as you approach, again, it's quite dark lit, not very bright, but you do see this very bright lit corner on the second floor, we'll say, just right at the back. And as you approach, you'll again sense that kindred aspect, that another beast is present. And what is revealed before you is bishop.
Is what? I didn't hear
that. The creature, and then suddenly the creature is revealed to you as the bishop.
Okay.
Well, not exactly.
Oh,
Sorry, I should have specified that a little bit beforehand, but I wanted it to be
no,
a
okay.
surprise.
A creature is presented before you, Recon.
Well, there's no creatures, to be precise. As Emma
Oh,
approaches,
well.
could have swore that she sensed kindred presence there. But when she gets there, she'll see that the light's on, but there's no one there. No one there at all, just tables and chairs, books lining the walls. But no one. No one at all.
Emma will sit and she'll say, yeah, she'll say, I'll wait for you. Just knowing that the bishop is probably around just here.
Ah, she does catch on quite quickly, and very soon she does begin to hear sort of muffled voices coming off in the distance, but without any real audible source. But you'll find it confusing because there's actually two voices there. And then in an I'd almost say, I'd imagine Disney's Sword in the Stone-like moment, she'll just become more and more aware that there's actually two people sitting down rather close to you, both on sort of opposite sides of one of these tables in the picture. Again, one of them you'll recognize automatically as the bishop, and the other one is someone you've never met before, a dark-skinned man, really clean-shaven, hair combed back quite neat, in a suit, and he's just sort of in conversation with the bishop, but you can just sort of catch a few words. It looks like they were in some sort of conversation long before you arrived, and as their conversation is coming to a close, whatever mystical powers the bishop has finally begun to lift as he is allowing you to sense their presence.
Emma will bow lowly to both of them. And she'll say, good evening. Hello? Oh.
The bishop, after finishing his conversation with the man adjacent to him, will sort of turn and look to you and then say, "You are earlier than we expected, Miss Bellefleur. Welcome. How have you enjoyed the library?"
She'll look around. Yeah, it's quite nice. I would like to spend some time looking over it, but I right now more grave matters are at hand.
The bishop will sort of frown at that, but the person sitting adjacent to him will show a great deal of interest in this. David, take it away.
Uh, the individual, as you say that, he raises an eyebrow and looks to you again with his quite dark skin and just sort of gives a slight chuckle. It's like, Have you found something interesting, child? I believe it was simply to meet some of our kindred brethren.
She says, I've met some of the kindred of the other covenants, and I, as well as Jack, and she'll look to him, and as Jack Callahan, and she'll say, but I've heard that there are other creatures going around London, something maybe we should look into.
As the bishop again just is giving a stare at Emma, very impassive, but then he just smiles gently and says, "I am pleased to hear you have met other members of the congregation. Although I am surprised at this turn of events. What do you mean, child?"
She'll say, what do you want me to go over first? The meeting with the meetings you sent me on, or the creatures I found?
As again, the bishop is just look at you, sort of looking you over, almost gauging your response. I'm assuming the man adjacent to him is just pretty much smiling disappointment, leaning over with a hand.
I was just
Chin.
I was just about to describe that. Yes, he's sort of just leaned in, and he's looking at the bishop and Emma in a kind of joyful waiting for the bishop's response.
I believe whatever order you wish to tell the story is entirely your prerogative. Go on. Share with
Shall
us
say,
what you have uncovered, Emma.
shall say, well, I first met up with Adriana, and apart from the little unwanted attention I brought to myself, which I got rid of as quick as I could, I can I do think our meeting went quite well.
Unwanted attention, whatever happened, dear child?
Shall say I should have made more research about Adriana. I thought a formal meeting would call for would call for would call for me to wear something. I shall think something, well, beautiful to wear for her, but I know now that when I do meet her, I'll wear something more professional. And she'll say, unfortunately, some people thought I was a celebrity, but I got like I said, I got the attention of me within a few days. It was of utmost importance.
The bishop is expressionless as you tell this. He just looks you over as you retell this story.
And she'll say, I of course do apologize for this inconvenience, and it will never happen again.
A vain one, this one. Quite a sinful creature of vanity. Am I right, Bishop?
The bishop will turn to his other guest and smile and say, perhaps we could simply chalk it up to the follies of youth. After all, was there not such a time that you yourself were prone to such acts, my dear friend, as this individual would actually sense a kinship, and Emma, you too sort of sense something odd about this individual, this almost familiarity, the way he holds himself, the look, the smile, perhaps the smirk, the playful way he just leans over on the table, as though looking over a balcony from a tall tower at the people below. You are quite certain deep down that this is a lord, a family member you sit amongst, compared to the bishop who is utterly not a lord, but nonetheless has a menace to every word that he says. Almost makes the blood, the curse crawl underneath your dead flesh.
I shall say, Adriana gave me her number to contact her, and as well as giving me a few warnings about the coffins. Told me to keep an eye on them, to be careful of them.
As he will just nod and say, and of the Carthians, how did your meeting with them go?
Shall say, I met John. I think he wasn't expecting someone like me to show up. I did throw him off guard. He was waiting for me at the Globe Theatre, and I don't think he was expecting someone that was used to being on stage.
Always one to stand in the limelight, our dear John.
And she'll
I
say,
hope your performance did impress our dear speaker for the Carthians. After all, a good impression is so very important, Miss Bellefleur, especially a first impression.
and she'll say he did try to guys I had a he well like how can she say that? She'll say I'm sure you've heard of the incident I had with McGee, the one they call Butcher McGee.
I have not heard of any such incident. You must understand, dear child, I have a very busy schedule these nights, especially with the Royal Elysium approaching ever so quickly. Did you bring this up with the leader of your parish?
Did I what?
Bring it up with basically your boss, whoever you report to for the parish.
Shall say well, let me go through through the story. Mickey had promised me to give me blood if came in if I came to his butcher shop.
As the bishop will just sort of hold up a hand to sort of stop the story right there, as he will say, just one question, dear Emma. Why?
Shall say the first time I met him, he um jumped up balcony, and this was this being my haven, he saw to it as a gesture of forgiveness, I think. This is what he told me. He did he did come
So you
uninvited to my haven.
are saying that another kindred intruded upon your haven, and you did not inform anyone about that.
Shall say I was quite busy with a few things to do, but and he had shown me a way to. He had told me that he was going. He had shown me that he was willing to show his. Oh wait, how can I say that shit? That he showed that he was willing to apologize, and I was of course gonna um report it. I just thought it was more important to meet the other kindred first.
Emma, you have grossly underestimated the power of the curse. Every kindred is a beast without self-control. Everyone hungers, and everyone will sate its hunger. That is why we band together in congregation, in covenant. Our divine covenant is meant to ensure that our fangs are directed upon those who are intended for divine persecution, not each other. By not alerting anyone, you put yourself at risk, and by doing so, you put the congregation at risk. You are to never let pride in your own capabilities come before your duty to the Covenant. Do you understand me?
Bell shall say yes, of course.
Then carry on with your report. And while that's going on, what is going through the guest's mind at this moment, David?
He's best not to just smirk, to not reveal his eyes that's Kindred as one of his clan, as he knows, is so inexperienced, I believe is the correct word. And he is trying to, again, retain his composure, try not to reveal his shock. He's slightly insulted that Emma, one of his clan, has acted in such a way. But he'll remain silent. He just seems to be observing the bishop's reaction as well towards this creature.
And shall say, I did make it clear to him that this was never to happen again.
And what authority do you have over this individual? Is he of the congregation? Is he laity? What do you know about this individual? What did he tell you? And what made you think that you could trust this individual, Emma?
Shall say I still testing his trust, which he has shown that I cannot fully trust him.
Continue with your report, Emma.
I did take him up on his offer. He shall say he first did as he said he would, and fed me. It was this was after I had just after I had entered the order officially.
It does not matter at this point what happened between you and this individual. Continue with the report about the mission that I gave you.
Shall say,
Yes, you can tell at this point the bishop is not pleased in the slightest.
Shall say, apart from that, the meeting with John went well. I could see though that he was hiding something. He was not being completely honest, and I think he might be hiding something from his own covenant. What? I'm not sure.
Did you make a good first impression with the speaker?
Shall say I made a good first impression with the coffins. Yes, especially some of them. One called Johnny.
I did not ask if you made a good impression with the Carthians. I asked you, did you make a good first impression with the speaker?
With what I just heard typing instead when you said the name.
Oh no, with the speaker, John Ernest, basically. Again, his eyes are now like fire, staring into you. You can almost feel like your skin crawl before the gaze of this creature, the bishop, the spiritual leader for the Church Eternal of London.
Shall say, as far as I know, he was quite pleased. He was. I did impress him on how I could engage on stage, and how I could engage with the other kindred.
I have to make you to roll for that because I think that's a complete. It's not a lie, but you're definitely overselling it a bit.
All right, let's see what we've
Oh.
got here. This would be minus his.
Well,
No, it's a beginning
and I'm not
contested
sure how
roll, so
she
it'll
would
be
sell it because she wouldn't how she sees it. So I'm not sure how
Well,
she would
it's
say
sort
that.
of you're not lying per se, but you're kind of over exaggerating because you was told because I remember I did the scene
Yeah.
and John Ernest was not impressed because you brought the paparazzi to the front door.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about
Yeah, so it's you sorry, you may have forgotten, but yeah, you brought the paparazzi to the door. He seemed very pissed off and annoyed at that, and told you it's not your fault but your superior's fault. And he didn't seem to be a good impress. He didn't seem very impressed. So you can either flat out lie and say yes, you did leave a good impression, or try to exaggerate how well you did.
And she'll just say, I did make a good, I guess, yes, I did make a good impression with John.
There you go, flat out lie. So we
right,
can.
so 6 dice for the bishop to try and see
Wait,
through.
what do you mean? Wait, what
No,
can she to say
basically, you can do. So I'm lagging there, but you can do basically like a flat out lie and say yes, you did leave a really good impression, or try to exaggerate. Oh, there were some complications, but yes, I did.
So, that's what I thought.
So do you want to try and?
No, she'll just say the truth.
Oh, just okay. Then you can just.
Okay, in that case, so you say you did not make a good first impression with John Ernest.
Well, she'll say I had a few issues, but overall, I made a. Yeah, well, that's what you mean. Yeah, overall, the meeting went well.
I still feel like that's a white lie because you're not really saying that you did. Like that was exactly what the bishop asked you. Like, did you or did you not make a good
I think if
John
you,
Ernest? And you're like, I made a good impression with the Carthians. Like they
I think
really liked me.
I think it's manipulation and subterfuge from Emma, and perhaps wits and empathy from the bishop, just to detect maybe there's a bit more to it. Maybe she's hiding something. I feel that
6 dice in that regards.
Yeah, unless Nelson, you just want to tell him the flat out truth that actually, yeah, it did go a bit tits up. There were some mistakes, but
Now,
okay.
I'm not sure she would she.
She is a bit of a manipulative one, I think, Emma. She would try to get away with the naughty child type thing.
I think
you've got a few dice in this, so there's a good chance
true.
you might do it.
True. Oh yeah, she'll just say yeah. I had a few different. There was a few issues, but overall it went well.
Yeah, but you can tell them that the paparazzi followed you, and the Guardians weren't happy about that. Or you can just not tell him that, but then there's a chance that he might find that you're hiding something. But again, it's all about the dice rolls.
Yeah, but with both the guys there, I think that's gonna be hard. I'm not sure.
But they may both not want to. One of them may find out you're hiding something and not tell the other one. I think we'll roll. If you want, I can.
Yeah.
Sorry, do I roll for both of you?
Yeah.
Yes, for both of us, unfortunately. I got
okay.
6
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah. She'll say. She'll say what I said.
Okay, so I shall roll. So I'll say that's manipulation, and we'll say subterfuge. So that is going to be 5 dice. There we go. So I'll just roll that now. Try to think of any minuses. No. Ooh. Okay, he may fail as well, the bishop. So I'll just roll his dice pool. You said it was 6, Ben?
Yep, it'll be 6 dice.
So he may fail as well. We don't know. Unfortunately, he didn't. So I'll just roll 6 for the other individual as well. No, he doesn't spot it, but the bishop does.
Alright, the bishop is going to very quickly just sort of look over to his companion. He's going to troll and try and see if he did not spot it.
I would say his companion is somewhat not that interested. He's kind of sat back and he's not paying too much attention. He's more important things on his mind at the moment, and he gives off an impression of boredom.
Interesting. Alright then. So he will just again look at Emma and go, good.
And she'll say, I also kept an eye, just to make sure. What is the task of keeping an eye on what's the name? Nora Hillingham, something that
Nora Hillingham.
Yeah. She shall say, I also kept an eye on, made some research on the kindred known as Nora Hillingham. And I found out quite some interesting things about her. Well, indirectly about her, but about her. Is it her daughter or granddaughter, Joanna?
Is her daughter, and I think, as you say, Nora Hilliam, the individual, the guest, will be quite interested and go, "Oh yes, the Nora. She is the Maquette Herald's new apprentice, Mr. Graves, I believe, of the Ordo. Big announcement that was."
I shall say, well, she herself is a venture.
Announcement as he sort of looks at his companion and says, you sure do keep your ear to the ground. I am impressed.
One must be aware of outside activities as well as inside activities, my dear friend.
Shall say,
smiles and nods and returns his attention to Emma.
Shall say Nora herself is a venture and goes by the name of Zima as an artist.
Ooh, hold on a minute. When did you figure this out?
Well, she first met her as Zima, and then when she went to the hospital,
it's not a fact. You just saw the name Zima. I will admit, I don't know whether that may be retconned, because I don't know whether Blue would sign in under that name. She might sign in under a different name. So we'll say that you don't know that at the moment. We'll have to speak to Blue about that later.
Okay.
All right then.
She'll say, well, Nora's daughter, Joanna Hillingham, is a renowned historian that visits that is in a coma at a certain hospital where there are strange things happening.
I am aware of Joanne Hillingham's works. I, as I said before, like to surround myself with words.
No, shall say Joanna is
Strange events are going around at the hospital.
what was that?
Oh, he's asking in a very menacing manner what strange events are going around in the hospital.
Shall say when I was there was another kindred. I made sure, of course, that he didn't know what I was doing there, but a doctor that visits her quite often and even leaves her flowers. A doctor that works at the hospital, a certain Dr. Green. That other kindred tried to scare him, and apparently he used his powers against him.
used his powers against a kindred.
She'll say yes. Apparently, from what he told me, he couldn't sense any predatory aura or anything that revealed him as a supernatural creature, but somehow, when the Nosferatu, as he is, tried to use his powers to scare Dr. Green, he told me that he saw a bunch of, was it flies that he saw attacking him?
Yes.
Because he saw a bunch of flies attacking him.
The individual or the guest, his reaction changes immediately, and you see him going from one of being quite lazy, bored, to very, very serious as he looks towards the bishop.
And the bishop, his borderline seething sort of drops as a very concerned look appears over his face as he looks at his friend and says, "This is not good. There are very few instances of the kind being able to draw upon supernatural powers. This stinks of witchcraft, or worse."
This is heresy, brother. The worst of sins.
She'll say, I encountered Dr. Green myself, but he does not know he does not know of what I am. And
Do not
he
assume
doesn't know
anything
I'm...
when it comes to those who lie with the devil, Emma. If this is a witch, nothing can be assumed about this individual. I want you to find this kindred, this individual who encountered him. Whatever power was used against him, we need you to bring him before my friend here. It is the Inquisition's purpose to root out such poisoned roots and purge them before they can take hold in the city.
He shall say, oh, this will be quite easy. His name is Z, and him along with and she'll wait and she'll say, along with Jack, we have formed a coterie.
Z. I am unfamiliar with a clanmate by the name of Z. Is he from London?
She shall say he is of the order.
Ugh. I knew their filth would be tied into this somehow.
Typical. They get distracted and they delve right into the maws of hell just to see what's on the other side. Typical.
Shall say, oh yes, I've witnessed that myself. As I've just said, not only him but Nora, another member of the order, even if it is indirect, they have both obviously been in contact with Dr. Green.
Two members of the order involved with this individual.
Shall say, it is suspicious that one with powers would be taking care of a kindred's daughter.
This is most suspicious. You said that you formed a coterie with these two individuals.
I formed a coterie with Z and Jack.
I am familiar with Jack's sire. I think he would agree if we were to bring this coterie together under the direction of my friend here, Inquisitor Fahim. And out of character, Emma might catch this, but he's saying that he knows who Jack's sire is, but he's already told her that the Inquisitor is Jack's adopted sire. He's clearly lying right now. The Inquisitor. But perhaps maybe to uphold some bargain that he made to keep the Inquisitor's connection to Jack a secret.
And Emma won't knows what's going on, but she won't make any notice of it. Well, she won't. She knows what's going on. Well, has an idea of what's going on, but won't act up on it.
Yeah, that won't well for the Inquisitor. He just merely smiles and says,
And
"Yes,
she'll say, Z always also told me of another strange creature he encountered.
Of course, an Order Dracul member tells you of another strange creature that lurks in the night.
it would seem London is rife with sin, brother."
It always has been, and I doubt it will ever change. But it has been disturbing, the reports that we've been getting all over the city recently. So what is it this time?
She'll say, he encountered the creature when he was at his work. He works in at a cemetery.
And this
He
is...
he told me he was going over the cemetery. He was told there was a leakage problem, and as he and his ghoul were searching, they found themselves surrounded by a white, gooey, fat um, texture, which took the form of a humanoid creature. Apparently, I'm only going from what he Reported to me. He told me that this creature's touch would burn like acid.
Curiouser and curiouser. My
He also told
brothers in the necropoli have been cautious about something else moving through the sewer networks, the tube stations of the city. Perhaps this is that thing. I must speak with this Joseph Z. He is family, albeit an outsider, but it would be important to share this information. Perhaps it is the same.
he
This is
also
most
told me
disturbing news, Emma. Most disturbing indeed.
shall say he also told me that what he sensed from the creature was that it was not exactly kindred, that it was it had something familiar to us. Similar. It had something similar to us, but it was less powerful.
The Inquisitor will tense his hand and probably lightly slam it on the table in a gesture of, and then say the words abomination.
And this creature, from what he told me, seems to be able to sense fear, but is afraid of fire itself.
Hmm. The curse infects that it touches, Emma. This is not unheard of. There have been many foul things that have spawned as a side effect of the recklessness of others. It is good that you brought this to our attention. Is that all you have to report on, though? Because we must act very quickly.
Shall say, oh no, I have met other kindred as well. First of all, I should probably tell you of. And shall say, have you heard of the black dog that was seen around town a few days ago?
I am familiar with the legends of a supernatural creature called the Black Dog, but I have not heard of any sightings around London in decades. If it is a kindred, then it is most likely perhaps somebody with the gangrel's talent, or the gangrel themselves parading around as some sort of beast of the wilds. It's not the first time something like this have happened.
There were many reports of creatures during the blood moon.
Let us hope that it is just some blood-starved cur who has now had its fixed and goes back into ground.
We have other pressing matters. If this dog returns, we shall deal with it. But until then, I advise that we disregard it.
Shall say I do think it is Kindred. I could sense a predatory aura when I encountered it.
Hmm.
For now, bring your coterie together before us again. If
Shall
this is
say
in fact the start of such a group, this could be an opportunity. That, and you will need as many eyes as you can get. Am I incorrect, my friend? As he looks to the Inquisitor.
Yes. More eyes to see the evil and sins of this London.
shall say the kindred that's known as the Black Dog nearly committed a breach of the masquerade, but Jack and I made sure that it wouldn't be the sighting wouldn't be made public.
The Inquisitor has a slight look of pride about him as you say that.
The bishop smiles. He says, "Very good. If this black dog acts up again, it will be up to the Invictus to deal with him." And I hate to call this short, but I do have to head off now, so we are going to say the scene begins to pan out as these three kindred discuss more. And as for afterwards, well, that will be for another scene, perhaps a part two. We will only know in the future.
Mhm.